Welcome to RJ Academy. Today, we are breaking down Anis Jung's Lost Spring. Our agenda is to trace the mechanics of systemic poverty in this chapter and master the literary devices for your NCERT exams. Let's start with Saheb. This map shows the journey of Saheb's family. They lived amidst the green fields of Dhaka, but severe storms swept away their homes. With no other option, they migrated to Delhi's urban periphery, to Simapuri, turning to rag-picking to survive. Look at this photograph of Simapuri, where 10,000 migrants process the city's trash. For these adults, sifting through garbage is pure survival, securing daily bread and a tarp. But for a child like Saheb, the chance of finding a stray rupee wraps these mounds in wonder. Consider the boy's full name, Saheb-e-Alam. Translated, it means Lord of the Universe. He roams the streets with an army of barefoot boys, unaware that his name represents the exact opposite of his daily existence. He has a hard time believing he shares a title with a ruler while he searches for gold in a gutter. Eventually, Saheb finds formal employment at a tea stall. He tells the author he is now paid 800 rupees a month, plus all his meals. Instead of his own plastic bag, he carries a heavy steel canister. He secured a wage, but the physical weight of that canister represents a deeper loss. The plastic bag was his. The canister belongs to his employer. To survive, Saheb traded away his freedom. He is no longer his own master. Now we shift locations to Firozabad, the center of India's glass-blowing industry, to meet a boy named Mukesh. Look at the factory floor in this photograph. Families spend generations working around these hot furnaces in dingy, unventilated cells to produce bangles. Over 20,000 children work in these exact conditions. In this image, you see men manipulating glass directly inside a blindingly bright furnace. The children sitting next to these flames have their eyes adjusted to the dark hut mints rather than the light outside. As a result of this extreme temperature and poor lighting, they frequently lose their eyesight completely before they even reach adulthood. Despite these hazards, the workers do not leave. To understand why, we can use this diagram of two concentric rings to map out the trap that keeps Mukesh's community in Firozabad. The inner ring is defined by the immediate family. Mukesh's grandmother believes their situation is their karam, or destiny. They are caught in severe poverty, burdened by the heavy social stigma of being born into the specific caste of bangle makers. They believe this God-given lineage cannot be broken, but an outer ring locks them in from the outside. If the young men try to organize into a cooperative, they face a vicious circle of external forces, the sahukars, or moneylenders, along with middlemen, policemen, and bureaucrats. These systemic forces actively prevent upward mobility and enforce the physical trap. Based on what we've covered, I want you to pause the video and answer this. Which of our two subjects, Saheb or Mukesh, actually shows defiance against their circumstances? Saheb surrendered his autonomy to the tea stall owner. Mukesh, on the other hand, insists he will walk to a garage, far from his home, and learn to be a motor mechanic. In a town where generations are resigned to glassblowing and blindness, his simple plan to learn a new trade is a radical act of daring. He rejects the psychological programming of the vicious circle. Anis Jung frames these factual events using poetic prose. To fully master this chapter for your exams, we need to identify 3 specific literary devices she uses. Let's look at this list. First is hyperbole, which is an extreme exaggeration used to make a point. Jung writes, "Garbage to them is gold." The trash isn't literal wealth, but for a starving family, finding a recyclable scrap is as vital as finding a gold coin. Next is simile, a comparison using like or as. Observing a young girl soldering glass, Jung writes, "As her hands move mechanically like the tongs of a machine." This compares the child's physical movements to cold industrial equipment. Finally, metaphor. This is a direct comparison, transferring the qualities of one thing to another without using like or as. The text refers to the web of poverty. The systemic trap of Firozabad operates exactly like a spider web. The more the families struggle to get out, the tighter the middlemen and bureaucrats hold them. Let's summarize our two subjects. On one side, we have Saheb in Simapuri. He works as a rag picker and ultimately loses his freedom to a tea stall. On the other side, Mukesh in Firozabad. He works in the hazardous bangle industry but dares to dream of becoming a mechanic. Both exist under the broad theme of a stolen childhood. These metaphors and similes allow Anis Jung to document how a child's humanity is stripped away. When she describes a girl's hands as machine tongs, she is showing us how years of labor transform a person into a tool. If you want to review these literary devices and character summaries before your test, check out the full notes in the description below. See you in the next lesson.